Good morning, everyone. Lenny Pinna here in Garberville, California. It is a pleasant morning, sun-dappled, and I thought I would show you what's happening in the garden, an update. For those of you who are new subscribers or this is your first time to the channel, know that I moved to Garberville from Pennsylvania a little over 6 weeks ago, and I began working in this garden. At the time, it was pretty overcrowded and overrun, and so I've been transforming the main beds here. And if you'd like to see what it looked like at the beginning, you could look at the playlist in the beginning, and there's one I think called My First Time in the Garden, and you could trace the progress if you like. So I thought I would begin today with where I left off with the bed of kale. For those of you who've been following along, you know about the drama of the plants that were left out in the sun to dry up. So we're going to take a look at what we have here. So the 6 in the middle were the new ones I had bought, and they're looking really good. And so there are about, I think, 5 more. These were definitely the stressed ones, and they're coming along. And over here, these 3 over there, the kale, are also, they were among the stressed ones, and they're coming along. There were ones planted in the middle which were very much obviously almost dead, and they, of course, didn't make it. You also notice that I actually got some of the leaves near where I'm staying, and I'm now using leaves as mulch. I guess aesthetically it starts to bring in the fall, which I know I'm still in summer, but some people might be thinking about fall. You may remember then I had turned to the bed next to it, which was still overrun with weeds. Oh, let me get out of the picture there with shadow. I took to clearing it, pulling out all the dead roots and amending the soil. And so I then had the idea of planting squash. And the reason I went to squash is I actually am not interested as much in the fruit. I'm interested in the squash blossoms. I want to have a prolific amount of squash blossoms so that I can make something my grandmother used to make, squash blossom patties, which I just love. And so I got these 4 summer squash plants at Sylvandale's, where I buy plants. And Don, who was there, who you met before, had some winter squash plants that were not looking very good, and he was just basically going to throw them out. And so he said, well, take some. So I took 4 of those. So that's what's happening here in the 10th and last bed that I hadn't touched before. Now every bed has been touched. Moving down to the Zinnia bed, and I'll tell you, they definitely, there's some coming up now, but they definitely lay dormant for quite a while. There's one of the larger ones right there at the moment, and not a lot, a modest amount are coming up. I'm really not quite certain why the zinnias took so long and seem to be growing at a slower pace than I normally know, but whatever it is, they're coming up now. Moving to this next bed on this side, that is parsley. The curly parsley is coming up pretty thick there. I'll probably have to thin that out. The other parsley that was already here, is going to seed. On this side, the Italian parsley has not sprouted yet, so I'm not sure what's happening with those. Then this is the arugula that I put in the last time, and it's looking pretty good. It adapted, and it's starting to take off. And the collards, these were the other ones that I had a few stressed plants. None of the stressed plants made it. The 6 plants that are here are the new ones that I had bought. And finally, a little bit of the borage, little sprouts of the borage are coming up here. Turning over to this bed, here are the potatoes. The plant part of the potatoes looking very healthy there. Beautiful. The fennel's doing fine. The fennel has new fronds coming up in the middle of them. So they've taken on, and hopefully they'll be taking off. Looking good. Here are a couple of the Thai basil. One there and one there, and the other 4 of them are in that area. They haven't really taken off. They're looking very healthy, but they haven't taken off yet. Over here we have the iris that I transplanted and cut down. The butterfly bush, I'm going to need to cut off that dead flower, help it to grow. The somewhat wandering Jew is doing very well. Let's see, over here is the other bed of transplanted iris. The scabiosas, they're not doing as much as I thought they'd do. They're okay, but they really haven't like taken off. And the geranium over here, it looks like it's starting there. I see some new growth now happening. That's good to see. Coming over here to my first bed, which is in full sun here. Looking very healthy. There's my Roma tomato plant. The eggplant has just gone gangbusters, which is great, starting to put on lots of buds. The lantanas go through various phases of losing their flowers and then creating a whole new bunch of them. I've got peppers on the pepper plant. The chard, I've already cut 2 little bunches of chard already. It's doing really well. Of course, those chives are great. And there again, lantana and the lavender in the middle are doing well. And even this little one here that I thought wasn't going to make it, it's going to make it, I believe. I had pulled it up a little bit and saw that new roots were coming, and now I do see a little bit of new green starting. The first iris bed from which I took some over to the other bed are here. I still have to work on clearing those and cutting those down, which I'll get to soon. Here's that first herb bed that I had cleared out. We have some of the Greek oregano. Finally, the cilantro right there is finally coming up, little bits of it, so that's a good sign. I actually cut some of the chives for the herb jam I made recently. I did cut down the lemon balm, and it's producing nice new young growth. I trimmed off some of the Italian oregano. All of them were in my jam, and the sages are doing well, and the pineapple sage, yeah, I cut a piece off and it's already regrowing. And the strawberry patch, I did buy, haven't done it yet, but I bought 4 new strawberry plants that I'm going to put in the beginning of next week. In the wild fennel bed, again, the borage is just starting to come up with these little new growths. And the dill that I put over in this patch. Okay, some of them are now starting to, some of them didn't make it, and some of them are looking very healthy. I'm not exactly sure at the moment if all these little sprouts are the dill seeds that I planted. I'm going to wait and see, because there's another patch coming up where there's these sprouts too, and I'm just wondering, are they weeds or are they the plants? We'll find out. Because over here, where I transplanted the mint, there's also those little sprouts, and I did not plant any other seeds there, so I have a feeling these are going to be some sort of weeds that I will have to eventually remove. Visiting Nari's bed over here. Let's see, we got some more cucumbers coming along. I think I see another one. Yeah, oh, that's a larger cucumber. And that new plant is doing well. Here's our Thai basil and Italian basil, which I cut off some for the herb jam. The chard is just looking really good that we cut off, and it's regrowing. And look at the collards. They're coming out really nicely as well. Our tomato plants look really healthy. Ooh, and the squash, the yellow squash. There's a lot of blossoms on there. I hope I get a lot over in my patch. The snap peas that we planted, I don't know, they looked a little anemic for a while. They look like they're starting to perk up here. I think we have one more of them over there. But they haven't really taken off yet. Give you a little view here up above it a little bit so you can just kind of see it all. How at least looks manageable compared to when I first got here. Now, here are two patches that are not boxes, but they're patches that used to be growing things. And the one thing for sure they were growing is asparagus. And this is one of the asparagus stems going to seed, and there are a few more of them over there. Nari said that this at one time was a thriving asparagus patch, and then, of course, fell into unkempt. So this may be the next area that I start to just sort of weed out and see if we're going to try to cultivate the asparagus again, or if we're going to try getting it ready for other items next year. I just saw the monarch butterfly land on the grapevine there. Isn't it beautiful? The reason I came over here is I wanted to come back and show you something I discovered. Right underneath this wild arugula is now coming up some Italian parsley. I didn't plant this, this was there. And so I'm actually going to be cutting down some of this arugula so that Italian parsley can have some more room. And right over here as well, I think it's because, you know, I've been watering the other areas. Italian parsley has been growing here underneath where the seeded parsley is. That's very encouraging for me. I'm going to take you over to this other area, which I probably showed you early on, but I have spent no time over here. These definitely are beds that are in disrepair and disarray. I just wanted to give you an idea of what's going on here. But over here, there is just a ton of dandelion, edible dandelion here. So I did cut off some of this ones going to seed, but I guess eventually, will I come over here and start pulling out weeds and starting to cultivate this? We shall see. I also noticed another bed of iris over here by the fence, and that looks like rhododendron there. That's interesting. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like could be a rhododendron. As you can see, this could probably use totally weeded and cleared out and given the iris space to multiply. This is also a beautiful sight right here. One of the artichokes blooming. I just think they are so beautiful when they're blooming with that purple. So as I'm walking back up the path, you can see this bush is so beautiful. There are several blooming now. We've had roses blooming, but not quite in like bunches like that. They've been more singly, but oh, look how vivid that color is. This one we looked at before, it's variegated. This one over here is, well, it's a little, well, there's one there. It's hard to see. It's really pretty it has more yellow when the light is on it. And some other pink ones. But I also want to take you back over here to the fig tree that I talked about in my video on the birds in the trees. And I had shown you one particular little area where there were some nearly ripe figs. And I came the very next day after the video. It was right in this area, and they were gone. So I'm glad I did the video that night. So I came over to this shaded area where you can see what's the woods next to the garden, so that I could actually end the video with you. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me as always. I won't be doing any videos over the weekend. My sister and brother-in-law are going to be arriving in a couple of hours. I'll be spending the weekend doing things with them. So I may do some reels of where we go. We're supposed to go to Shelter Cove, which is the ocean that's nearby in miles, but it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get there. And I'm looking forward to Highway of the Giants with the redwoods. So I might do a couple of reels for you to see what we look at while we're out and about. So once again, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.